I think one of the most underrated creative skills is being comfortable admitting that you don't know something. When I started in TV, I started at the bottom. Even after 3 years of uni, you think you know it all, but actually you're closer to knowing nothing than you are to knowing everything. I was a runner, then a researcher, then a shooting researcher, then a shooting assistant producer, then a DV director, and then eventually a shooting PD. And that's a 5 to 6 year journey. So whatever the role was, part of the deal was you were being surrounded by people that knew far more than you did. You watched them, you asked questions, you made mistakes, and gradually picked up skills. And that takes time. You can't speedrun that on YouTube. I sometimes wonder whether people starting today have lost a bit of patience for that. We live in an age where you can just watch tutorials, buy some decent kit, and immediately start making things, which is brilliant because you can teach yourself an incredible amount without ever setting foot on a professional production. But knowing how to use a camera, edit a video, or light an interview isn't the same thing as knowing how a professional production actually works. There's so much that you learn simply by being there. How crews communicate, how departments work together, how people behave around contributors and talent, how problems get solved without derailing the day, when to speak up, when to listen, and how to keep a production moving when everything inevitably changes. Those aren't necessarily things you can learn from YouTube tutorials. You learn them by spending time around experienced people doing the job. One of my favourite examples is a guy called Markiplier. This is someone who'd already built one of the biggest channels on YouTube with millions of followers, yet he still went and interned at another business and channel called Corridor Digital because he wanted to understand more about VFX, Unreal Engine and filmmaking, and then went on to make Bloodborne, which smashed it in cinemas. Imagine being that successful and still being comfortable saying, you know more about this than I do, can I come learn from you? I think that's a really healthy creative mindset, particularly if you're trying to jump from creating things for yourself into working on larger professional productions. Don't be embarrassed about starting at the bottom. Don't think being a runner or an assistant is beneath you because you've already made your own films or built an audience online. Get yourself onto good productions, make yourself useful, watch how experienced people work, and absorb absolutely everything you can. Because the creative industry isn't a one-person game. Professional productions work because they're full of people with different skills and responsibilities, all contributing towards the same thing. You don't walk through the door knowing everything. Nobody expects you to. Just be useful, be curious, ask questions at the right time, and get comfortable with the fact that building professional experience takes time. Getting your foot in the door is only the beginning. What you learn once you're inside is what builds your career.